Kia ora koutou, Marky here. So this video is aimed at members of the media, all kinds of media, who are interested in retroactive jealousy, looking into it further, where you can get information on it, and the basic elements of what it is. So this hopefully will be interesting to a lot of people, not just media, but hopefully will be quite a practical guide, steer you in the right direction for what you need to know. Okay, so retroactive jealousy is a mental health condition, a disorder. However, it's not yet formally recognised by the mainstream medical or psychiatric profession. So if you look it up in the main diagnostic manuals that are used in those professions, so that's like the DSM and the ICD, which is the World Health Organization diagnostic manual, you won't find retroactive jealousy in there. You will find related things. So, for example, retroactive jealousy is believed to be a form of obsessive compulsive disorder. You'll find that there, and sometimes pathological jealousy. I'm not sure what the current manuals include, because they're always chopping and changing. But pathological jealousy is something that's been recognised. There is something else called delusional jealousy, which is a psychotic condition, and that's something slightly different. I'm sure there are some big overlaps. So what we're looking at is a condition that has been recognised by sufferers, and particularly through various fora on the internet, people have come together and shared their experiences, and different people at different times have started to put two and two together and realise there's patterns to these experiences, and that there's something pathological going on. So retroactive jealousy is not just kind of normal behaviour. So retroactive jealousy, essentially, in a nutshell, is distress and obsession around partner's sexual and or romantic history. For many people it's both the sexual and the romantic. For some people it's one or the other. We've done other videos about that. We've got over 100 videos on this channel about different aspects of retroactive jealousy. So if you want to do a real deep dive into this stuff, help yourself dig out those videos. And the best way to do that is to go into our playlists, and then you can find them. And some of them are in subcategories as well, so you can follow the avenue that you wish to pursue. So that's retroactive jealousy, and it forms generally an obsessive compulsive disorder pattern. So obsessive compulsive disorder, two elements to it: obsessions, which are thoughts, and compulsions, which are actions. So the obsessions are constantly thinking about partner's history. So that can be thoughts as in words in your head, but also it can be visual images or auditory images, what we call mental movies, where people will replay their imaginings of their partner with their exes. Some people are very hung up on long-term relationships. They get jealous around those. Some people are more hung up on one-night stands and flings. Some people are very focused on body count and things like that. But it's all the same thing. So somebody could have issues around this stuff that form a slightly different pattern, and maybe wouldn't strictly be what we would call retroactive jealousy, but there is variance. There's a range. There's a range of different experiences in retroactive jealousy, but generally speaking, they follow the pattern of obsessing about things and then seeking information, seeking reassurance through information. So somebody with retroactive jealousy will do some kind of research, generally speaking, into their partner's past, which can be done by asking them questions, which can often be like an interrogation. Often there's a lot of blame attached towards partners as well. So it's hell for partners as well as it is for sufferers. And sometimes the research takes the form of internet stalking, not stalking with a capital S, but looking at social media profiles and looking at partners' exes' social media profiles. And sometimes it's invasion of privacy, like going through diaries and that kind of thing. And then what happens is, when the RJ sufferer receives this information, usually there's a very short-lived feeling of relief, and then the new information starts the mind working and then they obsess again, and then that is followed by another compulsion to find out more information or to ask more questions and stuff like that. Okay, so retroactive jealousy can be treated. So we actually provide therapy. I run an organisation called Retract, and we provide a whole ton of free information, and we get the word out to people suffering with retroactive jealousy, so that don't know it's a thing, so that they become aware of it. That's our mission. But we also provide therapy. We have a team of people that provide therapy online throughout the world. So that's my involvement in it. So it's partly altruistic, and partly it pays the bills, because I'm a psychotherapist by profession. So that's my involvement in it. And I had retroactive jealousy myself. I was a therapist first. Well, no, that's not true. I had retroactive jealousy right from my first relationship, and I became a therapist, and it was much later that I kind of realised what it was, and basically worked on it myself. Okay, so we're not saying that everybody needs. Some people believe that everybody needs therapy. I think it certainly doesn't hurt, but I think a good self-help program, provided it's done 110%, and it's the right program, can be effective in self-treatment of retroactive jealousy. But often it comes along with other things. And based on our clinical experiences, things like codependency, attachment issues, historic trauma, being the child of narcissistic parents, or actually being narcissistic, all seem to be things that correlate. And there's something also called the invisible child, which I won't go into in this video, but that seems to be a common factor for people with retroactive jealousy. So a lot of people think, oh, this is just misogyny and sexism. This is men shaming women. But what we found is the numbers of people with retroactive jealousy are pretty much equal across the genders. So there's many people with many women with retroactive jealousy as there are men with retroactive jealousy. The other thing that's important to know is that people with retroactive jealousy, for the most part, tend to recognise that it doesn't sit comfortably with their own values. So, for example, people might be sex positive. They might have, a very colourful sexual history themselves. Their partner's sexual or romantic history might not be as colourful or interesting, but they'll still be hung up on it. So usually there's a dissonance between what we believe or what sufferers' values and beliefs are, and how they feel about their partner, which adds to the distress in lots of ways. Now there are some people that would just say, would just shame their partner and make their partner bad and not see beyond that. But I think there's an argument for saying that that's not retroactive jealousy, because it's consistent with the belief system, whereas retroactive jealousy, generally speaking, is not consistent. And there's grey areas in the middle around that. Okay, so what do we, what's known about retroactive jealousy? Where would you find more information? Well, there's not much academic research into retroactive jealousy. There are, to my knowledge, I'm still digging into this, so there might be more that I'm not aware of. But as far as I'm aware of it, proper kind of academic research. There are 2 papers, one very recent one that came out this year, one from 2018, and there's one book which is by one of the authors of the papers, and I'll put links to those down below. Has it been featured in the media so far? Yes. So a couple of kind of big ones, I guess, are it was featured in an episode of Loose Women, and we've done a video on that. So Loose Women is a UK TV series, which is kind of how would you describe it? It's a panel of women that kind of discuss issues quite informally. and they have guests on as well, and they talk about different. I'm not sure if it's still running even because I'm not in the UK and I don't watch telly. But it was mentioned in Loose Women. Before that, Mariella Frostrup, I can never say her name. She famously, infamously, she had an agony column. I'm not sure what the publication was, and somebody with retroactive jealousy wrote in, and she misunderstood it completely and tore them apart and said that they were just hypocrite, sexist, all these kinds of things, which a lot of people think, and a lot of people say, but it is an illness. People with this hate it. They want it to go away. It's hell really, and it's hell for partners. Because they get shamed, they get interrogated, they get grilled, their privacy gets invaded. So it can be treated. It's in a way the treatment, the recovery process is simple but not easy. I sometimes say recovery from retroactive jealousy is quite boring, kind of from a therapeutic point of view. It's not a dramatic process. Usually it's using techniques consistently and persistently. That's the way to recover from retroactive jealousy. So are there specialists in this? Yes, there are. There's a number of people. Some are qualified therapists like myself, and some are people who are sufferers, who are lay people, who provide support. And there are different degrees. There's a myriad of people come in at this from different places, really. So there are people that are lay people and are quite honest and open about the fact that they're lay people, very clear with people that they might need to see a professional. And there are people that are less clear with that. There are a few sharks in the tank as well, sadly, as well as a lot of very good, very well-meaning and professional therapists. So I run a team, and we currently have. How many do we have? We have one. So not including myself, 4 people that provide help around the world. What else do you need to know about retroactive jealousy? There have been some celebrities with retroactive jealousy, and there have been quite a lot of songs actually that feature retroactive jealousy. We believe John Lennon probably had RJ, and RJ is what we call it for short. There's some current people that we're working with now. We've got one celebrity singer from the UK who has had treatment from our services and has publicly endorsed us. It's featured. I recently did a review of an episode of Black Mirror that featured the narrative was slightly complex. It wasn't typical RJ narrative, but it had all the symptomology and behaviours associated with retroactive jealousy in there, portrayed very well actually. So that is retroactive jealousy. Our goal is to, personally, my service and as an individual, my goal is to, as well as spreading information to sufferers, is to start to create an organisation where professionals who are treating this have some kind of quality control. So a professional body for RJ specialist professionals, so that there can be some quality control on, so people can have some reassurance when they engage a professional that the professional is suitably aware of retroactive jealousy and can treat it effectively. So that's one of the goals that we want to do. And the other goal, of course, is to get it formally recognised so that it does go into the medical and psychiatric diagnostic manuals. So some of the sort of core people in this, so going back really, I mean there are more and more people every day, but Zackary Stockhill was quite a pioneer in this, and Jeff Billings, somebody else that's done a lot of early work in retroactive jealousy. I'm still not kind of quite sure who first coined the term retroactive jealousy. Sometimes it's referred to as retrospective jealousy. If you want a summary of one of the things we haven't talked about, I guess, is causes, and we don't know. The research that's been done into retroactive jealousy has just scraped the surface, really. So to get into things like causes and that kind of thing is an awful, in terms of proper academic research, is an awful lot of work. So we're still hoping that will be done by somebody, but we've got some. There are a number of theories as to what causes it, and we've outlined those on our website. So there's a lot of general information on our website, which is the Retract website, which is retract.com. So all of this I'll put links to. Now, we don't just do, I say we, me really, don't just do work with retroactive jealousy, work with a number of other things, some of which are quite controversial and very specialist. And if you go to our website and look at, there's a section for other work that or other services that we offer. You know, they're quite unique, so from a media point of view would make for some very interesting features and stories, and I'm happy to comment if you're looking just for somebody, an expert opinion on something topical that relates to obsessive or compulsive or retroactive jealousy. By all means get in touch. So the best way to get in touch is through the website. There's the contact us section, so links to the website, links to the research and some of the other stuff down below in the description box. I hope this is helpful. Any questions at all, always happy to talk to you, because we want to get the word out about this stuff, and you know, you guys in the media can help us enormously with that. So thank you for watching this, thank you for your interest in retroactive jealousy, and check out all the other resources, all the other videos. Some of the other videos on this channel are about psychotherapy or other conditions, some of which relate or overlap with retroactive jealousy. So there's a whole bunch of, you know, hopefully useful information. Depends how deep we want to get into things, but hopefully from this short presentation you'll have the bare bones of what retroactive jealousy is, and where retroactive jealousy treatment and awareness is at the moment in society as a whole. So thank you for watching, and maybe catch you in one of my other videos. Bring you Mario.